All right, welcome along to Queenstown Ice Arena. This is going to be the start of the New Zealand WIHL League with Auckland Steel versus the Wakatipu Wild. And we're looking forward to a great year. Next week, a lot of these ladies will get together and be in training for the World Championships that are being held in Dunedin, 14th to the 21st. So my name's Bill Falcone, and we're coming to you live from Queenstown. So we got quite a few shout-outs tonight, and we'll go through the starting lineups. We'll have the puck drop in about 6 minutes. So for the Wakatipu Wild, we have Kristen Wimay from Canada originally, and she has a big shout-out going out to Eleanor, Angus, and Lottie from Annie Christie. They're in Manchester, Quebec, so the world is watching. Also, we have Caitlin Hill, formerly from Dunedin, now playing for the Wild. Kelly Nelson, number 22. Caitlin Hollier on defense for the Wild. And Gracie Helmrich, number 92. In goal, Zadia Palsy from Auckland. But the Wild were a bit short this weekend, so they have her in the goal for them. And now for the Auckland players. A few fun facts here too. We have Skylar McDonald, number 27, starting. She says she also does longbow archery. Liliana Reeves, number 24, lived in England for 12 years, now playing for the Steel. Alex Hefford, 15 years playing. She says she loves pickles, even has socks that say, "I'm just a girl who loves pickles." Rachel Richmond, and she's related to the Wright brothers who flew the first plane. And then, of course, we have Brooke Patron, also the coach of the national teams, the New Zealand Ferns. And, yeah, she recently had her first Boxing Day view and a win, pretty decisive. She's originally from Saskatchewan, so we're going to call her the Sasky Slugger or the Sasky Southpaw. Give a shout out which one you think better suits her. And in goal, number 1, Lachlan Hyde. She's getting married to a New Zealand Ice Hockey League player in May. And her nickname is Blocklin. She doesn't let many through. All right. So for the Wakatipu Wild, we have sponsors, Sky City. Big shout out to all the sponsors. Also Golden Homes, The Locker Room, Little Flick Fireworks, Platinum Villas, Ototahi Tattoos, and Craig Investments. And for the Auckland Steel, we have Mana and Steve Dobbs, who have arrived in Hawaii to watch her granddaughter Mana on the stream. So she's going to be playing in her game. Also the Keiths in Auckland watching My. First run with the Steel this weekend, so they're excited. Jamie Jones, her favorite aunt, be watching in Owaka. Hi to the Higgins. And they have sponsors, Towree Holdings, Moorcroft Contractors, NW Contractors, Hyde Automotive, Pink Bins, Tukahi Group. Also a shout out to F45 New Lynn Auckland for keeping us fit. That's wonderful. All right, we also have My Keith, number 8 for the Steel. It's going to be her first game with the Steel, so big shout out there to the Keiths in Auckland. I know they'll be excited to watch this. And tonight, just to let you know that we give a shout out to Kyle. He was supposed to be the referee tonight, but he's quite ill. Hopefully he's watching at home. But so there's only going to be 2 officials. It's going to be Aaron Chisholm and Adam Nagy. They'll be taking control once we get to puck drop. So also for the, don't forget that next week these ladies go away for the New Zealand Ferns for their training camp. They're going to have a friendly against Ukraine, and then they'll start the following week. And so we want to say good luck to all of them, all the ladies that will be competing in that around New Zealand and also around the world. That'll be coming. The Worlds are in Dunedin. So if you get an opportunity to get down, see a great level of play, should be very competitive. Also give a shout out to the Australian team that's probably watching this along with the Belgian team. And also once again that Zadia Paulse from the Auckland Steel. Shout out to her family. She's playing for the Wakatipu Wild this weekend. And love the sportsmanship with that. And the Steel say we can't wait to have you back. So good on them. Great to see that. Everybody working in together. So we get a nice competition. And we got another 20 seconds roughly, and then we'll get down to the business. Also, quick shout out to Ricky Lee up in Auckland. Hopefully she's watching. There we have the captains, Kelly Nelson and Jamie Jones, coming over to meet the officials, Adam Nagy and Aaron Chisholm. Yeah, Jamie Jones, she's been playing for the New Zealand Ferns for years. Back in 2013, she actually played in a pre-Worlds. And also for the Steel, number 28, Indy Lewis, plays defense. 8 years playing, but this is the first with the Steel. She's been coaching ice hockey since she was about 13 years old. So a lot of talent, a lot of skill out there. Looking forward to good competitive games and a great season, and also the Worlds. So Rachel Richmond will be taking the face-off for the Steel, and Kelly Nelson for the Wakatipu Wild. Referee checking with the goaltenders, ready for puck drop. And we're away. Wakatipu wins it. Back to Hollier, pushes it up the side. Cross to Nelson. Nelson has Wee-May to the right. High shot, knocked down. Patron recovers in front, pushes it into neutral ice. Richmond has it, takes it into the zone. Cross ice pass to Reeves. Push back, Patron has it a point. Quick shot goes wide. Dug out by Hefford, behind the net. We get a stoppage as it went up onto the net. So Steele will have a face-off in the Wakatipu end. Richmond versus Weeks. Goes back, Auckland wins, but Weeks is able to push it up out of the side. Patron chases, she's got Mills in pursuit, tries to turn around. This is going to be icing. As Hollier no, it wasn't Hollier that recovered that. Not on the list. A few players not on the list here, so bear with me. So they have another shot right out in front. Gets knocked down, kept in nicely. Shot knocked down and pushed out. It's going to be a foot race. Richmond versus, is it Hayes or Lawrence? Pushed around the boards, up to Kemp. Kemp just gets it out of the zone. Brought in by Wakatipu, so there's no delay offsides. And skated around. Out, pushed off the boards, get past the D, broken up nicely. Shot gets knocked down, hits the back of 99. And Holly will start out from her own zone. Tries to push it up, intercepted by Shields. Get a high stick call by the official. So neutral ice. Face off, Shields versus Nelson. And Shields wins it back into her zone, but they can't clear it. That Heel's able to break it up. Nelson has it, quick shot right into the chest protector, and we'll get a face-off in the Auckland zone. Auckland takes advantage, has a line change. So we may be taking it for the Wild. Kicks it back. Oh, almost kept in, but not able to. Push back to Hollier in her own zone. She's going to skate it forward. Across the red line, dumps it into the zone. Weemay's going to pursue it behind the net. Picks it up nicely, centering. Oh, tried to give a wraparound, but didn't work. Nelson has it. Quick pass over the heel. Wasn't able to get it. Now her and Hollier push through. There's Nelson. Nelson has Mills. Takes the shot. And Hyde is able to gather it up. Both teams will do a line change. We'll face off deep in the steel zone. Yeah, Steele's winning most of these face-offs at the moment, doing a good job. So Patron has it down the side, pushes it up the side. Helmrich's able to keep it in, goes through the legs. Mills giving her a good battle down there in the corner. Patron wraps it around up the boards, and it's pushed into neutral ice. Quick shot on goal. And gather up by Paulson. Bit of a meeting in the crease there, the players. Again, Auckland wins, back to McDonald. McDonald unable to keep it in the zone. And Patron takes it away. She's going to skate it out. She's got some speed on, has Hafford behind her, tries to split the defenders, but can't. Great centering pass there, but went wide. McDonald has it back at the point. She's going to dump it forward up to 33. Gets it out of the zone. Now it's going to be a foot race. And won by the steal, up to Shields. Shields tries to take it in, a bit too far for her. Up to Hayes, up the sideline. Richmond now pushes it out. Hayes backhands it into the zone. And now it's up to Thorne. Thorne to Shields. They go 3-on-2 here. Unable to capitalize. Behind the net, wrapped around the boards. I think that was Wime battling for it. Shields get a quick shot from the top of the circle, and it's gathered up by Zadia Polsa. So it was 16:07 in the first period. We're scoreless, tied at nothing. Auckland wins the face-off again. Richmond drops it down corner into Thorne. Thorne centering pass, quick one time. One time by Hope. Gregory Hope having a good chip at it in there. So he gets pushed behind the net. Gregory has it. Back to the point. Quick shot gets knocked down. Now Nelson has it. She has Wime and Heel going behind the net. Quick shot in front. Oh, good save by Hyde. Wime had a beautiful opportunity there. Just didn't get much stick on it, and Hyde was able to gather it up. Oh, we were hoping that Annie Kristen was going to get a goal for her, for Eleanor, Angus, and Lottie. Right in front. Wow, bounced straight over the side of the net. Great opportunity there. Another opportunity, chipping away at it, and finally the Steel defense able to clean up. That was Jamie Jones defending her goalkeeper. So Wakatipu doing a partial change of the and nice win by Wakatipu, turnaround, unable to get much on it and pushed into the neutral zone, be gathered up by Helmrich in her own zone. But intercepted, looked like Richardson gets a quick shot away. And now it's in the corner, centered. Oh, Wakatipu players just looking at it, and Steele were able to get it. Now they push it down ice. Jamie Jones is going to gather it in her own end. She's got some pressure on, going to take it behind her own net, and she'll start skating out, pushes it up the side. Nice outlet pass there. Big collision. Both players go down, nothing in it. And it comes out of the zone. Now Patron's battling. She has it center ice. Back pass to, I believe, Richardson. Pushed it up to Hefford. Hefford, quick shot goes wide. Looks like we got a penalty coming up here. Number 33 for the Wild, not on the list. 2 minutes for tripping. So still get the first power play of the game at 14:04. They have our Shields, Jones, Hefford, Thorne, and Patron. Patron with a beautiful shot from the top of the key. Shields has it in the corner, back to Patron at the point. Patron a cross-ice pass to Jones. Jones top of the circle, back to Patron. Turn around to Shields. Shields gets a quick shot to goal! Beautiful pass there. Beautiful pass, and Shields just sat on it and then went top shelf to get a goal. So Auckland makes them pay for the penalty. And they take a 1-0 lead with 13:47 left to play in the first period. So Lewis gathers in her own zone. Quick pass to Mills. Mills shoots wide. Kept in nicely by Weeks. Gathered up by Lewis. Lewis playing her first game for the Steel. Kept in nicely by Lawrence. She went from Christchurch up to the Steel. And now Helmrich will gather in neutral ice. Pass deflected, and Mills is able to help it get by, and now Shields has it, brings it into the zone. Back pair, beautiful pass. Quick shot gets knocked down nicely by Helmrich and wrapped around the boards and into neutral ice. Be gathered up by Richmond. Cross ice pass. And pushed into the zone directly to Helmrich. Helmrich unable to clear it out. Kept in nicely by Shields. Bit of a tussle in the front there. This should get out. Now NZWIHL will take it up. Broken up nicely by Thorne, and now Nelson has it in. Cross ice to Heel. Heel backhand pass out front. Nelson recovers. Too close together for everybody. Sweeps it around. Can't get it through everyone. Turnaround shot here. Knocked down. Oh! Great job by Hyde, keeping track of that. Knocking everything down. Here's Heel. She's going to be top of the slot. Gets kicked wide. 26 keeps it in. And that was knocked down. Hollier has that. It's a quick shot from the side. Pad save. Bouncing around in front. Finally gathered up. Taken behind her net. Pushed out to Jones. Jones tries to get it up to Richmond. And now it's cleared out. Quick pass, too far. This is going to be icing. So Auckland gets a full line change, trying to take advantage of the tired Wakatipu from the icing. They weren't able to do a line change. 11:28 left in the first period. Auckland wins the face-off. Quick shot, goal! Richmond, Rachel Richmond gets a goal. Once again, about the same location that Shields got hers. So Auckland again wins back to McDonald. McDonald not able to get it up quickly. And they'll be taken in by Weeks. Weeks top of the circle, quick shot, rebound. Nobody was there. Mills didn't get there quick enough. Back to 26. He just dumps it in. And now Richmond's going to try. Nice breakup. And Hefford will have it behind her own net. She'll start to skate it out. Goes right around the player. Now Hollier's going to challenge. Pulse had it, gloved it, and now she's going to hold on to this one. So both teams will get a line change. So Wakatipu gets it, pushes it into neutral ice. We may putting pressure on. She does a good job, gets it, needs help. Back to the point, cross ice, high pass. Glove saved by Hyde. Nice job. They've been getting a lot of rebounds, the Wild have, but they just haven't had the people in the position around the net to take advantage of them. So Auckland win the face-off. Unable to get it out of the zone. Kept in nicely. And now Hill will go down to battle with it. Back to the point to Helmrich. Helmrich, cross ice, no. Oh, Shields breaks it up. She's going to get a breakaway here possibly. She's got plenty of help in front. Oh, just Wild got lucky there. That was broken up. May now pushes it up to Nelson. She has Heel on the other side. Quick shot, knocked down, Heel. Wow, what a save. What a save. Nelson had the shot, had the rebound. And just unable to get it through. Hyde did a great job. Looked like it was floating between her legs a wee bit. Nelson took a swipe at it, and that didn't sit too well with the Steel girls, but so back to the point, quick shot. Rebound behind the net. Fought for. 99 comes out of it in the corner. Drops it off to Hollier. Hollier behind the net. Backhand pass. Nobody there. Broken up nicely by, I think that's Hefford. Left in front. Back to Hollier at the point. She's going to go quick low shot. Goes wide. Oh, Wild players just looking at it. Nobody's being too aggressive. So overskated. And Davidson tries to break it up. Can't. And Auckland will start out in their own zone. Pushed up to neutral ice to Keith. They're battling for it just below us. And Weeks comes away with it. Richmond all over her. And Weeks keeping the pressure on. Good job, but now Kemp loses it. Richmond doing a good hustle to keep it in. Back to Patron, top of the slot. Knocked down by Mills. Mills is going to skate. She got Weeks on the inside. Patron does a nice job breaking it up, pushing her into the boards. She now has it down low. Quick shot, rebound once again. Nobody's able to pull the trigger. Patron comes away with it. Skating through neutral. Oh, broken up nicely with stick check there. Wakatipu Wild push it back to their own end. Push it down. Oh, this could be an icing. Nah, it won't get there. Nelson putting pressure on, up to Patron on the boards. She gets it out. And it's dumped in by Thorne. Shields in pursuit, pushed across the opposite side. Richmond will have it. Big hit. Richmond goes down. Nelson brings it into the zone, broken up. Now Heel has it, side of the circle. Coming around behind the boards. Thorne now has it. She's going to try and push it up. Not much in it, but enough to get to neutral ice. Lawrence pushes it back in. Delayed offsides. Clear the zone. Clear the zone. Nah, that was a shame. Oh, he's going to call intentional. Looks like the official, Adam Nagy, is going to call intentional offsides because he was making plenty of noise trying to let them know, but they kept doing it, so they'll move it in a face-off back into the Wakatipu zone with 7:14 left to play in the first period. Auckland Steel winning 2-0. Quick shot off the face-off. Now wrapped around the wheel. Pushed into neutral ice. Hayes back. Auckland will skate it out from the side, trying to keep it in. And it does not clear the zone. Nice quick shot. And now Hyde dumps it off. Jones has it. Puts it up to Tunnicliffe, who's going to now push it in. Actually just wide of the net. Pulse pushes it off to the side. Now Lawrence wraps it around the wheel. Weeks will dig it out in the corner. Pushed up the side. Good job by Hefford. Big collision with Helmrich. They both go down. Now Weeks has it, pushes it up the side to Kemp. Kemp unable to get it up. Now Lawrence pushes it into neutral ice. And Weeks is going to gather it in her own end with pressure. Now Lawrence has it, pushes it up the side, still not out of the zone. And now finally put up to Mills. Mills is going to take it past Patron, gets in there. She needs some support. Nobody there. Back, Patron gets it back, takes it around her own net and will skate out as Nelson gets there to give some pressure. Gets past Hollier. Richmond in pursuit. And Hollier's going to skate it out from her own end. Needs some help. Broken up nicely with a stick trek by Patron. Pushed across to Gregory. Gregory has it. Here goes. Shot goes wide. Back to Shields. Back to Patron at the point. Pushes it down. Shields now side of the circle. Going to get a quick shot down low. Rebound. Now Patron has it. And it gets pushed into neutral zone nicely. Now Shields has it. Center ice. Pretty relentless attack by the Steel at the moment. And they're fighting for it in the corner. That's Gregory, wraps it around the boards. Hollier pushes it up to Heel. Heel has it, overskated by Nelson. Shields now up to Gregory. Gregory's back to Shields, side of the circle. Backhand goes wide. Shield has it behind the net. Pushes back to the point. Quick shot coming, down low, went wide. And we're going to get a penalty, it looks like. We have Caitlin Hollier with an elbow. So 4:25 left in the first period. Auckland Steel winning 2-0, and Caitlin Hollier gets a penalty for elbowing. And Steel will get another power play opportunity here. Richmond, Tunneluff, Gregory. Richmond and so Steele's going to start out in their own zone now. It got pushed back. Oh, dangerous pass there by Gregory. Hit the side of the net and shot straight up in the air. I think Tunnicliffe has it now. She's pushing it out into neutral ice. Weeks breaks it up, dumps it in. Richmond recovers. Cross ice pass to Shields. Shields now pushes forward to Tunnicliffe, who takes it in. Backhand broken up and pushed out nicely with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the power play. Jones will recover in her own end. They have Shields, Patron, Hefford, Thorne, and Jones. Patron, beautiful shot right down the slot. Zadia makes the save. And now push back. They're going to set up the house here. Back to Jones, top of the slot. Jones cross ice to Patron. Patron at the circle, back to the top of the slot. Jones launches a shot, goes high. Patron there. Jones has it back at the blue line, up to Patron at the side of the ice. Pass to Shields, too far. Nelson's might get an opportunity here. Quick shot, went high, kept in nicely by Wime to Patron. Patron does a good job breaking it up and is going to come away with it. Pushed it into neutral ice to Thorne, too far. Helmrich pushes cross ice pass. Healed it and go forward to get it, so they're going to get an opportunity here. Richmond takes it down behind the net. Stops, comes back, looking to set up. Penalty's over. So I think that took them by surprise. Now Wime up to Kemp. Jones is tying her up nicely. Thorne grabs it, pushes it behind her net. Richmond's going to get there with Hollier. And cross-ice pass to Kemp. Kemp has Mills crashing toward the net. Stops, backs up. Going to give it back to 33, who pushes it forward but isn't able to get it out. So broken up. Now you have Nelson's going to bring it in. Has Mills in the middle. Quick shot. Once again, a rebound. Nelson gets her own rebound, wraps it behind the net. It's down in the corner. It's going to be a foot race. Back to the point. Lawrence has it. Nobody there. Dumps it behind the net. Kemp's going to go in pursuit, but it's going to be picked up by Lewis. Back to Keefe. Keefe, this should be icing. So there's going to be some tired steel out there at the moment. So let's see if the Wild can take advantage of this with 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the first period. Steel leading 2-0. Wild will have a face-off deep in the steel zone. One by Wime. Nelson, oh, hit the waffle and then up off the crossbar. Patron battling for it, can't get it past them, back down, but breaks it up nicely. Now she's going to skate it out, and the Steel will take advantage to have a line change. Now Wakatipu will bring it out. This will be icing against Wakatipu. No, waved off, didn't have the legs to get past the red line, so that was waved off nicely. Outlet pass to Shields was broken up by Hollier. Hollier now regathers. Bit of a line change there, so Hollier has Wime. Quick shot, knocked down nicely by Richmond. Centering pass, top of the slot, quick shot needed. And good save by Hyde. So just over 20 seconds left in the first period. Back to Helmrich. Helmrich try to get a quick shot, knocks it behind the net. Richmond pushes it around the wheel. Jones has it. Good backhand to Shields. Shields pushes it out. 7 seconds left. Cross ice pass. Jones has it, pushes it. That'll go out of play with just under a second. I doubt if there's enough time to get a goal here, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened in hockey. And that'll do it. All right, so end of the first period. Auckland Steel lead Wakatipu Wild 2-0. I think, yeah, both teams have showed some good signs. And, yeah, Steel's come to play. They're hustling, working well as a team together, especially in the offensive zone. Both their goals were very good cross-ice passes. Wakatipu Wild, they're just struggling a little bit. They plenty of shots on goal and plenty of rebounds. Just haven't had the players in key positions in order to be able to bang some of them home. So we're going to take a 5-minute break for about 10 minutes, and we'll see you in 15. right, welcome back to Queenstown Ice Arena, where the Auckland Steel have come down, compete against the Wakatipu Wild. First game of the season in the NZWIHL. Auckland Steel winning 2-0 at this point. So once again, we want to give big shout outs to the sponsors. Wakatipu Wild, we've got to say thank you to Sky City, Golden Homes, The Locker Room, Little Flick Fireworks, Platinum Villas, Ototahi Tattoos, and Craig's Investment. For the Auckland Steel, Tauri Holdings, Moorcraft Contractors, and NW Contractors. They are the gold sponsors for the team. The bronze sponsors are Hyde Automotive, Pink Bins, Tukahi Group. Also a shout out to F45 Newlyn Auckland for keeping us fit. There we go. So of course the teams trade sides for the second period. Can make substitutions quite difficult at times. Adam Nagy about to drop the puck, and we're away. Wakatipu comes away, pushes it into the zone, push back now. Helmrich will skate it into the zone from neutral ice, down the side against Patron, hits Patron. Now Collier has it, pushes it down to Wime. Wime cross ice pass, gets knocked down. Pushed right out in front, nobody there is able to pull the trigger. Richmond McDonald back behind the net now to Wime. She's got heel out in front, has Nelson. Pushed up the side, gets past Hollier. They're going to wave off icing. And McDonald will skate down. Hollier will gather it up first. Tries to push it up the sides. Will be kept in nicely by Patron. Side ice, beautiful cross ice pass. Unable to pull the trigger. McDonald has it down in the corner. Kemp goes in, or heel goes in to fight for it. Wrapped around. Wime will have it at the other side, but gets away from her. And now Richmond will start out from her own. Ball up the side, over to Helmrich, back to Hollier. Hollier. Keith is in, so shout out to her family that are watching. It's number 8 for the Steel. And it's pushed cross ice pass up to Kemp, too far. Overskated, Kemp comes around. Kept in nicely. Mills going to get a shot, gets knocked down wide. Shields has it in the corner. Brings it around, does a nice job of escaping there and pushes it into neutral ice. It's going to be pushed back in by Lawrence, but now Shields backhand pass. They have a 2-on-1 here. Quick shot, and Zadia Paul save. Glove save, and we'll get a stoppage of play with 18-12 left in the second period. Auckland Steel winning 2-0. So Auckland has it right out in front. Gregory with a turnaround shot, gets knocked down nicely. She has it in the corner, back to Hefford. Hefford, top of the circle. And now Heel has it. She gets an outless pass. Nelson will have it. She has help with Wime. She's going to circle around at the circle, try and set up the house here. Quick shot gets knocked down. And Wime fighting Shields for it in the corner. Goes back up, push to Nelson, top of the circle. Quick shot, nothing on it. Bounces, takes an awkward bounce in front of the net. Still loose, knocked down back to the point. Oh, nothing on the shot. That's a shame, great opportunity. And now Gregory's going to skate it into the opposite end. Goes through, pushed to the side. Gregory again. Has it, it's going to go back to the point, to Havecki. And now it's going to be skated out by Heel. Pressure on by Thorne, dumps it into the zone. Patron will gather behind her own net. Pushes it up to Tunnicliffe. Weeks now is going to put pressure on her. And it gets broken up, kept in nicely though. And now Weeks is going to go. She's got Mills cross ice, can't get the pass there, and Patron will have it behind her own net. Pushed out, goes too far. Could be icing, but no, Auckland's going to get there first. Looks like McDonald gets there, wraps it around the board. Keith coming off the side. And now Mills will skate it against Patron, broken up nicely with a stick track by Patron. And Davidson pulls it in. And a good outlet there. It's gathered up now by the other heel. Is it? No, 99. There's Gina Davis. Mills across to Davis. Davis will take it into the zone. Loose stick down there. And pushed up. Hollier at the point. Keeps it in. Top of the circle. Goes down the side. She's got Richmond putting pressure on her. Nice peel off. Still has it. Over skated. Nice job there. We're going to get a quick shot here by Gina Davis on the side. Patron now muscles in. Comes away with the puck. This should be icing. And they called that a little bit early, but it seemed obvious that the Wild were going to get to the hybrid spot. It's either the top of the circle or it's the face-off center. So 15:37 left in the second period. So they called the icing against Auckland. They're going to clear the stick off the ice. So Wakatipu comes away, cross ice, two players unable to get any stick on it. So Heel has it through the slot. Good stick check, broke it up. And now Zoe Thurston goes in pursuit. Good collision there at the side there, and it gets pushed on goal. And Keith coming off the net here is going to have a great opportunity. This is her first game with the steal. Cross ice pass, beautiful, broken up nicely. I think that was Heel that broke that up. Back to the point, wrapped around the wheel. Gets past Hollier. Keith will have it back to Richmond at the point. She pushes it around the wheel again. Richmond picks it up behind the net. Circles back. Still has it behind the net. Nobody's pressuring. Hollier can't see. Quick back to the top of the circle. Richmond will get a shot. Knocked down by Heel. And now Heel push it out into neutral ice. He gets past Lewis. Nelson and Wimay are in pursuit. And now it's outletted past Keith up to Shields. Shields back to Keith. Good backhand pass there. And now Wimay has it. She'll dump it into the zone. And Wakatipu will do a line change. As they gather, it's pushed up. Weeks has it side of the circle. Pushes it behind the net to Kemp. Kemp is in there. Tries to get it out in front, but broken up nicely by the defense. Now Kemp has it down. Cross ice pass was weak backhand, but it got there. Now quick shot here from Heel. And another good save by Hyde. Didn't get a rebound, although we had somebody there if they did. So now Thorne, Hefford, Gregory, and Havaki come in with Shields for the steal. Auckland wins the face-off. Hefford takes it behind the net, outlet to Shields. Dump back into the zone. Now Mills in pursuit. Up the opposite circle to Gregory. Gregory doing a good job trying to get it out. Gets it up to Shields at the blue line. She gives a back pass to Gregory. Gregory crosses the line, gets a quick shot, goes wide of the net. Gets her own rebound. Is down in the corner. Bit of pressure, and now Abby Heel comes away with it. She's going to push it around the wheel to Mills. Mills will pick it up side of the circle. And Shields does a nice job knocking it down, pushes it back into the zone. Heel will pick it up in her own zone. And Weeks is able to come away with that. She'll take it into the zone. She has Hayes quick shot, hit the defender's head. And now is dug out of the corner and pushed up. This should be icing. And we'll get a stoppage of play with 12:41 left in the second period. Auckland Steel winning 2-0. So yeah, Keith getting a bit of play time for the Steel, number 8, My Keith, first game with the Steel. And her family's watching up in Auckland. So Helmrich will gather in her own end, take it behind her net, start to skate it out. Keith putting pressure on, sends her back the opposite way. Up to Hayes. Hayes tries to push it up to Patron. Patron, almost took it in offsides. Did a good job to keep it out. Now splits the defenders. Wow, good job by Pulse. And now Tunnyliff has it. Centering pass, unable to pull the trigger. Patron picks it up, side of the circle. Looking. Behind the net, still has it. Looking for a pass. Shot, gets her own rebound. And a goal! Yeah, that puck was lying around in front of that net much too long. The defenders need to clear them out. Patron with the goal. So with 11:47 left in the second period, Auckland Steel are winning 3-0. So Wakatipu come away with it, push it forward. Lewis has it in her own end. Hits the skate, tries to push it forward. Quick shot out front. Knocked sideward, she goes down, not sure what caused that. Nelson has the side of the circle. Side ice pass, shot goes high. Hollier has it back at the point, brings it down the side. Richmond puts a little pressure, backs off. Now Keith, Nelson back at the point, knocked down. Another shot goes wide. At the side picks it up. See if they can set this up. Richmond trying to press her, gets away from her. Beautiful centering pass. Oh, nobody can pull the trigger. Bit of frustration happening there. The defense got a little bit physical, and Wime was not having it. So the puck was loose. She was having a swipe at it. I didn't see anything untoward in there. But the defenseman doing their job, tries to clear them out, and tempers flare. Exactly 11 minutes left in the second period. Wakatipu wins the face-off. Mills has it in the side, circling. Shields gets in, breaks it up, comes out. Good outlet pass. Gregory tries to center. Heel comes away with it. Now Gregory pushes it back. And now Heel having a battle, pushes it up the side. Nice job keeping it in by Havecki. Shields pushes it behind the net. I think that was Thorne, and then it came out. Now it's pushed into neutral ice. Hefford has it. Good backhand pass up to Shields. Oh. I thought he was calling a penalty. Looks like he just called offsides. Must have been a delayed offsides that they saw. So Wakatipu unable to get it, but tried to keep it in the zone. Nelson's going to have it now. Tunnicliffe is putting pressure right up the slot. Quick shot, hits the goalie, I believe, in the head. Side pass. Oh, and Yes, they get a goal! So Heel, very awkward shot, rebounded, and then I think Nelson, I'm not sure, no, Wimay. Oh, how about that? Wimay was able to punch it home. Auntie Kristen, big shout out there. She dedicates that to her loved ones over in God Manchester, Quebec. Eleanor Angus and Lottie. Annie Kristen got a goal for you. All right, so 9:53 left in the second period, and Steele leading 3-1. Oh, if that wasn't on net, that would have been an icing. McDonald now pulls it out. Funny bounce off the side of the net. And now Auckland's going to skate it out. Richmond back against Helmrich. She has Kemp putting pressure on her. Gets it, oh, big hit into the boards. Don't think there was anything in that. But this will be icing against the Wild. Yeah, it looked like a collision there down at the end, or she rubbed her off. Not sure if she hit her or not, but it was definitely a big hit or a big impact with the boards. So back to Lewis at the point. Weak shot and a goal! A weak shot by Lewis, and Shields was able to get it and backhanded top shelf to get it past. So, hey, bit of excitement there with Hannah. Good to see. So 9:16 left in the second period, and Steele come back and answer pretty quick to the Wakatipu goal. So Wakatipu win it. Heel does a good job getting it past. Quick shot. Oh, Wimay wasn't able to get anything on it. Then Nelson has it. Nelson side of the circle. Pushes it back to Wimay, but Shield breaks it up. She's going to get it into neutral ice. Oh, and a defenseman goes down. Hollier goes down. Gregory will take it in, gets past her. Can't get anything, couldn't get a stick on it to push it in. Now Shields will go in against Wimay in the side, gets it out to Nelson. They have a 2-on-1 here with, oh, and a little bit too far. Now she gets through to goal! Wonderful, Nelson and Heel. Heel did a good job to stay with that, get her own rebound. So 8:39. Second period, Wakatipu come back and answer. It's 4-2. So Auckland wins the face-off. Jones will gather in her own end. Overskates, Hayes has it. Quick turnaround pass, rebound there, pushed out to the side. Now Keefe. And then a quick shot by Hayes again. Shields now has it behind the net, intercepted. Got a backhander, nothing on it. And now Jones comes away with it. Pushes it forward, broken up by Gina Davis. And now it's pushed across. Tunnicliffe has it, side of the circle. Quick shot goes wide. Picked up by Jones, side of the circle. She gets quick shot in, defended, pushed out by Heel. Jones again. Short shot goes wide. Skated out. Wakatipu has a 4-on-2 here if they can take advantage. And Weeks will gather in her own, in the neutral zone. Now she'll skate it up the left side. Broken up nicely. Turnaround shot. that was Havecki that had broken that up. Now Patron's battling for it in the corner. It's getting pushed up, still in the zone, and now just finally pushed out. Mills has it with Richmond getting physical with her. Oh, big hit there. Starting to get a bit chippy here. Intensity. Puck is loose, bouncing around, goes wide. Oh, not sure what caused that, if that was a stick or a slip, but man, it looked brutal. Richmond went down hard, but has the puck back to Patron, top of the slot. Quick shot, just waffle boarded high. Goes up back to the point. Patron does a great job keeping it in. Kemp now is going to push it into neutral, and Patron will gather and start in again. Good stick by Weeks to push it back out of the zone. Now it's dumped in. Auckland will get a break. But the Wild unable to get it out of the zone. Big collision there. We're going to get a penalty. Oh, it's good to see that she's up. That's Alex Hefford. Oh, she's holding her head. I hope she doesn't have a concussion. Looks like Helmrich's going to be off for the penalty. Interference, 2 minutes. The intensity is definitely picking up in the game, getting a bit more physical. Once again, there's only 2 officials in the game because Kyle, the ref, is sick. They weren't able to get someone quick enough to cover, so Auckland win the face-off, do a good job to keep it in the zone. Richmond has it now. Davis breaks it up nicely. Nelson now has it. She's going to skate it out and dumps it the full length of the ice. Pushed around the side. Good pressure by Gina Davis, keeping it in. And now Gregory will skate it into the zone. Splits, goes between the defender's leg. And Pulse holds on to it, and we'll get a stoppage of play with 5:41 left in the second period. 1:28 on the Helmrich penalty for interference. Auckland Steel winning 4-2. Shields wins, back to Patron. Patron cross ice to Jones. Jones back to Patron, top of the slot. She quick pass, quick shot low. Shields recovers, side of the circle. Pushes it back to Patron, top of the slot. She pushes it back to Shields, top of the circle. Cross to Patron. Patron over to Jones in the circle. Quick shot. Rebound floating around there. Wow, bounced off the pad. They have a couple of shots at it. Weren't able to get good contact, and finally Pulse is able to gather it up and get a stoppage of play. Shields wins the face-off again. Patron back to Jones. Jones going to push it down to Shields, side of the circles. Brings it back. Jones has it, top of the slot. Back to Shields on the circle. Quick shot, high goal! Beautiful top shelf shot by Hannah Shields. Beautiful shot. So once again, the Steel answer. With 5:01 left, it's 5-2. Steel beating the Wild. Wakatipu wins. Wimay takes it into heel, offsides. So let's see if the Wild can answer. All right, Wild have the puck. neutral ice, cross ice pass. They're going to wave off any icing. Jones will gather it up behind the net. Starts out, pushes pass up off the boards, kept in nicely. Oh, now it was released. That was Potter. It had it, now wrapped around the boards to Nelson. Nelson's going to push it into neutral ice. Gets it back again. She skates around. Tries to go through. Quick shot. Yeah, Hyde struggling to hold on to a lot of pucks tonight, but the Wild just aren't able to have people in the right position to knock them home. Oh, Helmrich unable to keep it in the zone. Wakatipu will pull back. Pushes it up, doesn't get much on it. There's Heel. Heel has Weeks. Overskates the puck, dumps it behind the net. Mills will be there. Mills centering pass, nobody there. And now Richmond will start out from behind her own net, pushes it up to Jones, hits the official. Richmond now gathers again, takes it behind her own net with Mills in pursuit. Mills keeping the pressure on up to Jones' side of the circle. Cross ice pass, nobody there. Hollier will gather it up. Hefford was having a shot at it, but wasn't able to get there. Hollier dumps it into the zone. Jones will gather with Mills in pursuit. They'll battle for it down in the corner. And Jones comes away with it. But Mills isn't giving up. We're going to get a penalty here. So we have a delayed penalty. Auckland pulls their goalie. So Richmond has it. Cross ice pass to Jones. Jones pushes it up to Patron to Hefford. Hefford takes it into the zone. Broken up by Hollier. Got a hooking call coming up against the Wakatipu Wild. So number 2, Gabby Mills, 2 minutes for hooking. And I think the Wild got a little bit lucky that there wasn't another penalty at the end of the play against Hollier. Auckland will have the power play again. Jones top of the circle, shot deflected wide. Shield has it down, back to Jones, the point. Jones skating it in, Patron to the side circle, tries to push it forward in the pass, gets her own back at the point, pushes it forward, back to Jones, top of the slot. Jones is going to get a quick shot, knocked down by Nelson. Patron gathers in the corner. Centering pass, back to Jones, top of the slot, over to Shields. Broken up nicely with a stick check by Heel, and Jones just checks her off the puck. Now there's a trip there. Looks like it's going to be against Jones for tripping Abby Heel. So 2:07 left in the second period. Auckland Steel is winning 5-2. Gabby Mills has 1 minute 15 left on a penalty. And now the penalty, now they called Emma Thorne. Called Emma Thorne 2 minutes. So Wakatipu wins the face-off. Quick shot, gets knocked down. Weemay unable to get control of it. Hollier in there fighting for it. Up to Weemay. Comes out, Richmond has it down the side, wraps it around the wheel. Be dug out the other side there. And now Gregory has it. Tries to push it through. Can't, that was, and then Heel tripped. Wasn't able to get it. Holly will start behind her own net with Richmond putting pressure on. She's going to skate out. We're 4-on-4. She pushes it forward. This could be icing. And it will be. Yeah, I'm not sure if Hollier forgot that they weren't short-handed or just got away from her. So 30 seconds left on the Wakatipu penalty, a minute 15 on the Steele penalty, and 1:22 left in the second period. Wakatipu comes away with it. Heel pushes it into neutral ice. Patron unable to keep it in. Patron now skates it around the side, comes with some speed. Hefford now, quick shot, goes wide. Shields will gather in the corner with Gina Davis. Tunnicliffe. Now Jones has it. She tries a shot right in the breadbasket, and Pulse will hold on to it. So just under a minute to play in the second period. So Wild comes away with it. Abby Heel used to playing in the huge rink at Dunedin with the high ceiling, tried to lift it into neutral ice, but in Queenstown it's a very low ceiling, so hits the rafters, and we'll do it again. So now Nelson will gather it up, down cross ice past the Hollier. Hollier has Kemp, but unable to get it to her. Richmond still in the Wakatipu zone, has pressure on, circles back. Now down behind, pushes it to Shields behind. Comes around the circle, can't get anything on it. Nelson will skate it out. She has Kemp to the far side, gets past Patron, around Shields. Centering pass, beautiful play. Kemp unable to pull the trigger, and Hyde did a great job to get her pad there to block it. Now Heel will gather, a few seconds left. Nelson cross ice to Kemp. 5 seconds left in the period. They got to get a shot away if they're going to get one. And that'll do it. So definitely better hockey, more competitive hockey this period. Although the Steele answered every goal that the Wakatipu did. So as we go to the intermission break here, it's 5-2. Auckland Steele leading Wakatipu Wild. All right, welcome back to Queenstown Ice Arena. First game of the season for the Wakatipu Wild and Auckland Steel. So both teams, a lot of the players getting ready. Next week they start a training camp for the World Championships, which are being held in Dunedin. If you can, try and get there. Should be some great hockey. And then about 10 days after that, I think the men's also have the World Championships in Dunedin. So we're about to start the third period. Auckland Steel beating Wakatipu Wild 5-2. And for the Steel, shout out Hannah Shields. Had a hat trick. Let's see if she can get any more. So, yep, definitely better hockey that period. Still, once again, though, Wakatipu Wild, plenty of shots and rebounds, just not able to get enough people that are crashing the net. When they did, they were able to get some goals. Especially the one wasn't pretty, but it got in and was effective. So, be interesting to see how they answer. Keep in mind, they only had 8 players earlier in the week, and they've been able to pull in a lot of players to field a team, which is wonderful. And it's been entertaining hockey. Definitely second period was better than the first, and let's hope the third gets better. Again, this is an early season this year for the league. They wanted to get some games in before the World Championships. So, and we're underway for the third period. Hollier collect it in their own zone. Richmond in hot pursuit. Good stick check. Now Hefford's going to get a quick shot by the side. Goes behind the net. Centering pass. Out in front, Reeves unable. Backhand rebound by Richmond. And a good save by Pulse. We got a penalty coming up, it looks like. It's going to be against Auckland. Number 11, Rachel Richmond. Adam Nagy, 2 minutes for hooking. So let's see if the Wild can jump on this. So Wimay will be facing off against Shields. And is able to knock it back, heel back at the point, cross-ice pass to Hollier, who pushes it forward. Wraps around the heel. Heel back to Hollier, down the side of the circle. Hollier skates around, pushes it behind the net to Wimay. Wimay try to touch and go to Nelson, but didn't get any wood on it. Nice move there. Centering pass kicked out. Backhander went high. Another rebound, unable to get it. Hollier's going to keep it in. With Gregory putting pressure now back to Nelson behind to Wimay. Centering pass right through the slot. Nobody there. Hollier will gather in her own zone. Gregory in pursuit up to Nelson. Nelson Shields breaks it up nicely with her stick and comes away with it. Dumps it in. Hits the official. And it goes behind the Wakatipu net. He'll start it in her own side. Has some speed up. Has Mills breaking on the opposite side. Oh. Thought she had a foot drag there, but obviously the linesman didn't agree and called offsides. So Weeks against Hefford for this. Mills takes it into the zone. Side of the ice, tries to split the defenders. Again, Hyde unable to hold on to it. So now back to Mills. And now Jones is able to almost clear it. Hollier does a nice job of keeping it in, pushes it down. And now it'll be pushed out. No icing because there's still 30 seconds left on the power play. Helmrich will start behind her own net. Thorne putting pressure, but out to Abby Heel. Abby Heel up to Mills. Mills pushes it into the zone. Thorne was all over her. Didn't let her get a pass away. Kemp will dig it out in the corner. Kemp pushes it back behind the net to Mills. Mills centering pass. Back to back to Abby Mills, and now comes to the side of the net. And Hyde's able to tie it up. As Mills was crashing the net, and it looked like Hefford tried to clear her out. So the power play is ended. 17:36 left in the third period. Shields will be facing off against Nelson. Shields wins the face-off, goes into the corner, pushes it up the side. Unable to get it out. Nelson now has it down side of the circle. Deflected shot, goes wide. Unable to clear. Wimay does a nice job. Shields in there. Pushes it behind the boards, too far for heel. Now Patron will have it. She's going to push it up. It stays in, but then gets knocked into neutral ice. Hollier and Gregory are going to go to the corner to fight it. Hollier pushes it around the wheel, up into neutral ice. Too far for Wimay. Richmond will recover. Good job by Wimay. Then Nelson, top of the slot, just shot wide. And it's into the corner. Gina Davis digs it out, pushes it across ice. And Lewis gets it into neutral ice, up to Gregory, but Nelson has it. A 1-on-2, top of the slot, quick shot. Rebound once again, quick shot here from Kemp, but goes wide. Pushes it back to Mills down below the red line. Good centering pass, nobody there. Gregory will push it into neutral, but kept in nicely by Kemp. Pushes it back down. Now it's wrapped behind the boards. And Weeks will have it, pushes it back to Heel. Heel wraps it around the boards, back to Heel. Slap shot coming, hits Weeks. Mills is on the ground, gets up, tries the center pass. And it's pushed around the opposite side. Gregory will gather it in her own end. Good pressure on by Weeks. Still unable to clear. Quick shot here, goes wide. And Gregory will start again behind her net. Pulled off it by Weeks, but then gathers it back. She's got pressure on, good pressure here, up to Shields. And Hayes puts pressure on. Now Patron will skate it out from her own zone, across the red line, into the offensive zone. Heel and her push it, break it up. And now Wakatipu will have it, gets it into neutral. This will be icing. No, they've waved it off. Goalie came out to block it. And McDonald will start. Does a good job to get it into neutral ice. Hayes has it, pushes it back into the zone. And now Patron will gather behind her own net. Pressure on, good outlet pass to Richmond. Goal! Hefford from the top of the circle. I saw Richmond go down. And then the puck just kind of laid there. Hefford got it, had a nice shot from the top of the circle. So it's 6-2. So Rachel Richmond, 12 years playing hockey. Gets the 6th goal for Auckland Steel with 14:52 left in the third period. Wimay comes away with it, gets a quick shot. Hyde will hold on to it. Wakatipu will get a face-off deep in the Steel zone. So I think it's Sabrina Tunnicliffe is facing off. Apparently she speaks fluent French. So Steele has it, Jones has it behind her own net. Good pressure by Wimay, but she's able to get away from her. Starts to skate it out. Good battle going on there. Outlet pass, but Helmrich has it center ice. Tunnicliffe, good pressure. Nelson will bring it across, but she'll start into the zone. 1-on-2, again a quick shot, goes wide. Gets her own rebound, centering pass, it bounces out in front, nobody's there. Again for the Wild. So a quick shot is deflected, goes back to the point. Is pushed out by Keefe. And Helmrich is able to get there, takes it behind her own net, pushes it into neutral ice up to Wime. Wime up to Heel. Heel pushes it in, tries to get around Jones, but can't. Jones gathers with Nelson putting pressure on her. Out to Gregory, a little bit too far. Mills pulls it out, tries to push it behind the net. Havecki's going to dig it out of the corner. Backhand pass across the blue line. And now Kemp has it. Brings it back into her own zone. And that's offsides. No, they didn't call it. Oh, now it's delayed. Okay. So 13:29 left in the third period. Wakatipu Wild are trailing 6-2 to Auckland Steel. Shields and Week will face off. And Auckland wins. Gregory gets a quick shot, knocked down by the waffle by Pulse. And now Hollier will start behind her own net, but taken off her nicely by Steele. But then it came back. Now Steele has it again. Hollier will try it again, pushes it up the wheel to Kemp. Kemp cross ice to no one. Lewis gathers. She's going to push it off the boards, but Week intercepts. Now she's going to go in. She has Mills breaking to her right. Quick shot, knocked down by Richmond. And now Heel has it in the corner. Weak pass, gets there, pushes out. Now Richmond's going to dig it out from the opposite circle. Gets past the one defender in the neutral zone, pushes it up to Hefford. Hefford backwards pass to Thorne. Thorne wraps it around the wheel. Be dug out by Hefford. Hefford gets a shot, big rebound, and now Pulse will cover it up and we'll get a stoppage of play. 12:24 left in the third period. Nelson won the face-off, but it quickly went just past the goal. And now Wakatipu is able to get it in the neutral ice. Patron has a bit of a collision with the official. And now it's pushed into the zone. Wime back to Lawrence, but too far. McDonald digs it up, wraps it around. Back to Patron behind the boards. Be picked up by Heel at the point. Pressure put on by Reeves, but... And now Patron has it, wraps it around the wheel with a backhand, goes to Lawrence. Lawrence keeps it in. Back to Nelson and Patron. They'll battle for it in the corner. Unable to be kept in. Bit of a collision there. I didn't see anything in it. Oh, Hefford does a good job of taking the puck away from Wime. Gets it into the zone. Back to Richmond. They got a... Oh! Went right across the goal mouth. And Pulse is able to get her glove over it, and we get a stoppage of play. 11:22 left in the third period. Yeah, but a little bit of sloppy play there in the neutral zone, and Auckland almost took advantage of it. They still have a face-off deep in the Wakatipu zone. So it looked like Auckland got the better of that face-off. And now Wakatipu trying to get it out the neutral ice. And it's pushed into neutral ice. Helmer cross ice pass. Too far. Keith over there battling for it. Now Jones backhand pass, just being played in neutral ice back and forth. Jones will gather in her own zone. Pushes it up forward to Tunnicliffe. Loses control of it, but gathers it back in. Able to push it forward, but right to Helmrich. Helmrich cross ice pass to Esther Chan. Chan's going to take it in. Now wraps it around the wheel behind the net. Jones and Weeks will battle for it on the opposite circle. Impact on the boards. Kemp comes away with it. Kemp down behind the net, centering pass. And it looks like Hyde was able to get a hold of it and get a stoppage of play with 10:13 left in the third period. Weeks wins the faceoff, back to Hollier at the point, off the sideboard, back to, oh no, Mills. Now behind the net, I think that's Kemp, not sure. Centering pass right up the slot. Kept in, but then knocked out. Looks like Shields and Hollier were fighting for it. Now Richmond comes away to Thorne. Thorne gets a shot on. Hollier gathers it behind her own net, up the side to Kemp. Can't hold on to it. Shields back at the point. Shot gets blocked in. No, they called a whistle. That's a shame. There was a rebound that came out, and the officials thought that he covered, that Pulse had covered it up, and blew the whistle clearly, but then the puck came free and was hit into the goal. But clearly a no goal as the whistle blew. Wakatipu wins the face-off. It goes right back to Auckland, though. They're going to skate it behind. Centering pass tried. Heel's going to dig it out. Backhands up the side to her sister. Then they skate it out. She's got Nelson. Cross ice pass. Nelson picks it up. Side of the circle now. Cross ice again. Nobody there. Gregory's going to dig it out. Side of the circle. She'll push it into neutral ice. Stopped by Heel. And now Nelson has it. She takes it into the zone. Richmond putting pressure. Centering pass. Lewis breaks it up. Wimay has it down in the corner. Back to Nelson, who's going to skate it behind the net. Has good skills there. And now she has it. She's going to push it backwards to Wimay. Wimay down in the corner. She's got Richmond on her back. Centering pass. Shields breaks it up nicely. And nobody there. So now Gregory's going to skate it out, a 1-on-2. She pushes it through. And Pulse is going to just hold on to it for the stoppage. So it's 6-2, 8:34 left in the third period. Also give a quick shout out if Coco and Louie are watching from Canada. Auckland wins the face-off, but broken up nicely. Now Hayes battles with McDonald for it. Now it gets pushed back into the Wakatipu zone. Helmrich will gather with McDonald putting pressure. Now Hefford putting pressure as she turns around, goes back behind her net. Patron does a good job of keeping it in there. But now it's brought out by Helmrich, pushed forward, but Patron gathers in her own end. She's going to push it off the boards. Up to Hefford, nice pass. Hefford's side of the circle gets broken up by Helmrich. And pushed out. Not able to get it into neutral zone. Turnaround shot quickly goes wide. Back to Patron at the point. She's going to get a quick snapshot away. And it's pushed out. Patron right there. Wow, that's a dangerous. Oh no, sorry, that was Hefford. Dangerous position to give the opponent the puck. Oh, tries a quick backhand. Pulsa does a great job of stopping that and covering the corner. And then finally getting her glove over it. So, yeah, once again, a great shout out for Zadia Pulse. It's, playing in net for the Wakatipu Wild this game. But here's Mills on a quick shot. Glove saved by Hyde. But, Zadia Pulse plays for the Auckland Steel, but the Wild was short of a goalie. So they asked the team, and Auckland Steel graciously let her come, but the players are looking forward to getting her back after this weekend. So Steele wins the face-off, puts it behind their net, up to Keefe, up the side. She does a good job. Hits it off a, I think, Tunny lift. And across to Keefe, does a good job. Centering pass. And it gets kicked into neutral zone. And now Havecki will get it in her own zone with Mills in pursuit. Havecki, 13 years playing. She's the only girl playing in our city for over 4 years before coming to New Zealand. So Mills and Shields battle for it, and Thorne's going to take it in. Quick shot. Shields with the rebound. And now she has the side of the net, centering pass. Nobody there for Steele. It gets pushed out to Wime to Nelson. Nelson's going to take side of the circle. There's a rebound. Puck goes behind the net. Try a wraparound. And Hyde does a good job of getting her pad over to cover that corner of the net. And we're going to get a stoppage of play with 5:57 left in the third period. Auckland Steele still leading 6-2. So Nelson has the top of the circle, shoots it right into Richmond, and the rebound comes out. I think that's Gregory. Yep, skating it down. Shot goes wide. Has it behind the net. Has good pressure on her by Lawrence. Now pushed into neutral zone, and it'll be gathered up by Lewis. No. Now Richmond will start in her own zone. Looked like a give and go there between Shields and Gregory. Now Shields has it, takes it into her zone, has Richmond and Keefe. Rebound comes, Abby Hill's going to push it out. And that's Kemp, takes it down the side with good pressure on her, centering pass, but nobody there. Shield, good job by Weeks to keep it in, up the boards to Kemp. Now pushed across ice, won't be able to be kept in. Lawrence will gather in the neutral zone, and she'll push it back to Heel. Heel push it up to Mills. Good break up there by Hefford, and then Richmond will take it in. Quick shot, hits the shoulder, rebounds out. And they're fighting for it. Now it digs out into the corner. Richmond will put it back to McDonald. McDonald can't keep it in. We have a delayed offsides. Now it's clear. Good stick check there by Richmond. And now it's pushed forward to Mills. Patrone and Mills will fight for it in the corner. Mills has it. Patrone overskates, comes back, circles back, pushes it back in, back to the point, but Hefford is able to get in the way with it. And now she's going to skate it out in the neutral ice. She gets a shot from the blue line. Rebound, she gathers in her own. Cross ice pass, nobody there. Weeks will get it. She pushes it up the sideline to Hayes. Hayes has Clark and overskates it. McDonald now pushes it forward. Beautiful opportunity here, but decided to skate around and now dumps it in with a backhand. Hayes will gather it, take it behind her own net. Comes up too far, bad angle. It's going to be icing. No, it won't have the legs to get there. So Jones is going to start out from behind her own net. Bit of speed on. She's got Keith. Tries to split the defenders, gets through. Wow. Polsey did a great job to stop that because Jones had the open net, had that puck popped out. Good effort there by Jamie Jones. .323 left in the third period. Nelson against Tunnicliffe for the face-off. So cross ice pass. Too far, a bit of a collision. Now Wime has it. Forward up to Nelson. Nelson takes it into the zone. Good shot, knocked down by the waffle. Nobody there to get the rebound. Kept in nicely by Hollier. Wrapped around to Wime. Wime behind the net. Skips over her skate. Now Davidson. Davidson, yep. So now Wime has it behind the net. Pushes it up. Hollier from the side of the circle. Knocked down nicely by Jones. Hollier's going to get a quick shot here. Knocked down by Havecki. Nelson tries to turn on it. Can't get any stick on it. And now it's going to be stated out. I think that's Keefe that has it. Overskates it. Now it's pushed back down. Jones will get it with Nelson in pursuit. Good outlet pass by Jones. Shields. And has Thorne crashing the net. Goal! Oh no! I thought that went in. My bad. Hit the crossbar. I thought Shields had her fourth goal. So it's wrapped around. Mills has it behind the net, back to the point. Lawrence keeps it in. Kemp backhands it in, but to nobody. Now it's outletted. Gregory has it. Now Weeks, she overskated it. Weeks has it. Thorne breaks it up. Back to Kemp. Very broken play here. Now it's outletted, too far. And Shields will go in with Thorne. Nice backhand pass. Beautiful play. We get a high stick here. On the rebounds, Hannah Shields hit it out of the air just by reflex. And but it was above the shoulder or the back of the crossbar. So, minute and 21 left in the third period. Oh, good hustle there by Gina Davis. She won the face-off. So Auckland wins the face-off. Patron's going to skate it out of her own end. Tries to get by the defender. Helmrich does a good job, not giving her anything. Wow, beautiful pass, centering pass there to Tunnicliffe, but Polsa did a good job. So final minute in the third period. Back to Patron at the point. Beautiful shot. Hit the side of the net. She was screened. Now Hollier has it. Pushes it up the side. Back to Patron at the side of the circle. Centering pass. Cross ice. Nobody there. Heel has it. Has Nelson breaking. She's going to get behind the defender. Oh, can't pull the trigger. And Patron's able to clear it out of the zone. That was going to be icing, but it was played. Beautiful opportunity there. With 20 seconds left in the third period. Jones will just skate it up. Just killing time. Broken up nicely by Nelson. Side shot. Hyde knocks it wide. It's behind the net. Jones has it. Nelson's fighting for it. Nelson comes away with it back to the Helmrich. Helmrich with a weak shot, but a rebound comes, and that'll do it. Good job. Good push by the Wakatipu Wild at the end there. And it was really good hockey, I think, for the first game of the season. Auckland Steel definitely outplayed them, but Wakatipu Wild started playing better and better as the game went on. So it's really setting up a good game for tomorrow night. We'll be live again from 7 p.m. And hopefully the official, Kyle, will feel better. But if not, we'll do it again with two officials. So 6-2 is the final score here. Hannah Shields with the hat trick on the night. And now they're just going to work out who the players of the games are. So good job to the Wild, good job to the Steel. Looking forward to tomorrow night. And of course the World Championships, which start I think the 14th of April in Dunedin. So yeah, once again, I can't speak highly enough of Zadia Pulse and also the Auckland Steel for lending Zadia to us for the to be able to play in goal. I believe Jordan Wishman will be playing tomorrow night for the Wild. So Adam Nagy, the official, is now giving out the pucks of the game. So he's thanking the officials, also the fans, the coaches. Yep, the MVP for Auckland, player of the game, is Hannah Shields with the hat trick. And for the Wakatipu Wild, nice heel, Caitlin Heel. Got it for the Wakatipu Wild. Now, and those two will be playing at the World Championships on the same team. So great camaraderie, great sportsmanship. So that'll do it from here tonight. My name's Bill. I'll see you tomorrow night from the Queenstown Ice Arena. We'll say goodbye.